Hey, we feeling it all in the head. The missiles is coming in here. Military gon' come where you live. He ain't give us the spirit of fear. Messiah is coming, we near. Destruction is coming, we here. Them chariots got us aware. Prepare. We feeling it all in the head. The missiles is coming in here. Military gon' come where you live. He ain't give us the spirit of fear. Messiah is coming, we near. Destruction is coming, we here. Them chariots got us aware. The branch is tender, he is divine. We see the prophecies, we know what time. 6 feet apart when we standing in line. 6 worldwide. Okay, they shooting them up with that poison. They going willfully, nobody forced. They don't trust the father, they just divorce them. They for that lava, ain't no remorse. We gotta open our eyes. The government serving the devil. They see the 12 rise. Got them scared on a whole nother level. They gotta get rid of this virus. Okay, they talking about the awakening. These bones is living, they hating it. The kingdom is coming, we taking it. They trying box us in. 70, 80 all over again. We need to put down our scenes. We getting close, we gotta endure to the end. Iran and Russia, crushing America. They send it over like nobody's scared of you. Your sins is reaching the heavens. America, he about to bury you. Blowing them trumpets, crying out loud. Keep the commandments, we making them proud. Praises go up, destruction come down. But we know that you hearing us now. I will get rid of the agents. Or they thought that I wasn't gonna say. He sold you a garment, now you a target. You gave an agent your information. Opening seals, they opening CERN. At war with the father, hoping they burn. Sending them prophets, hoping they learn. All of these doctrines gotta discern. Messiah teach it, I don't wanna learn. Come any other way, you bound to get burned. I check with my king when I'm making a turn. I check with my king when I'm making a thing. Cause you niggas is not getting sick enough. I am a watchman, I blow the trumpet. This is a warning, they about to pick it up. Young kids go walk in the store with a mask. You make it mandatory, you and I last. If they gotta eat, robbing you fast. Military coming, this is they plan. Prepare, we feeling it all in the air. The missiles is coming in here. Military gon' come where you live. He ain't give us the spirit of fear. Messiah is coming, we near. Destruction is coming, we here. Them chariots got us aware. Prepare. We feeling it all in the air. The missiles is coming in here. Military gon' come where you live. He ain't give us the spirit of fear. Messiah is coming, we near. Destruction is coming, we here. Them chariots got us aware.
How much are they paying these people to put up these fraudulent numbers in front of the masses? They ain't gonna take it that most of these people who die from COVID until they vaccinated. The media always capping. We can't believe anything they say. We know the games they play. Giving up magic spells they cast and they keep us captive. Their plans unraveling. The only thing they need to do is switch on 5G. That'll wake up the graphene. What's that? The black thing. I mean the black stuff that's in the vaccine. Never seen Venom? Yeah, that thing. It's only a matter of time before they take over your mind. It's about to go down, tsunamis inbound on the East Coast. Volcanoes erupting, they ain't saying nothing. These islands don't find no Cheeto. What we see taking place in this world is all by design. We see through the lies they tell it. For those who went out and stood in the line to get that poison, you gon' regret it. Living in fear, got everybody out here making these unconscious decisions. For years I've been preaching, trying to get them all on the truth, but they all rather die in their ignorance. I'm at the point where I don't even trip no more. I'm like, Albert, handle your business. If you are hearing this, please take it serious, turn from your sins and show your repentance. Tribulation, we can't escape it. Off grid would be the best location. Separate from the vaccinated. Shoot, I did with no hesitation. You see the signs, stay in your faces. I'll become. We just gotta be patient. Our Father which art in heaven, I pray you protect the whole nation.
Our Father who's art in heaven, I pray that you protect the whole nation. Man, welcome to the Hebrew state of being. I am your humble servant and host for tonight, in a biblical sense, that is, right? We throw this chat on the YouTube. See, we got everybody out there. Shalom, yes, people. Shalom, people. Let's go. So, man, tonight I was inspired to do this lesson on chapter 30 of Proverbs, right? So there's this popular TikTok that's going on around by this guy that I had seen a couple of his videos. I'm not gonna say his name. I see a Coach T's in the building. So there's this guy on YouTube that I've seen a lot. He's a real fiery guy, you know what I'm saying, to tell people they're stupid and blah, blah, blah. But I want y'all to understand something very clear tonight. First, let me introduce. Welcome to the Hebrew State of Being. I am your humble servant and host for the night in the building. I got my lovely Miss Artist 28, my beautiful Rib. Today is her solo return. I want to give a special shout out to my Rib before I get, oh, there she go. Before I get into my rant tonight, because it's going to be a rant tonight. But I just really want to, we had a beautiful picnic on yesterday. I just want to take this time to thank the Most High for the Rib that He's given me and the family that He has given me. And we've had a great time this celebrating her solo return. As you know, we don't really do birthdays like that, but we do celebrate each other. You know what I'm saying? We take time to take a note of this solo return. So with that said, also in the building, I got my youngin' Bella song. He's now going to bed. So let's get into this lesson. So there's this guy, right, on YouTube, real fiery guy, right? And you know, as I said, this thing that we should understand tonight is the enemy of my enemy can be a friend to me. The enemy of my enemy can be a friend to me. So this guy, I always viewed him as that because, man, he loves to bang on Muslims. Not that I have a problem with Muslims. I got a very good friend in my brother Horace that's a Muslim and Islam rather. And you know, so it's not that. He does a good dive into history and he knows the Quran much better than I do. So I listened to some of his rants in reference to that, right? So they got this TikTok. I see Brother Adam's in the building, Brother Michael's in the building, Jeanette's in the building, my cousin Michael's in the so there's this rant that's going out right now. He comes on a TikTok and he says, the guy says to him, you can't find Jesus in the Old Testament. And he says, yes, I can. I can do it. You shut up. I can do it right now. Just go to 30. So he tells him to go to Proverbs chapter 30, verse 3 and 4. So we're going to dive into all of Proverbs 30 because that's, as a Hebrew, as a Shemitic person, as a person that is trying to truly make a connection unto the Most High and not looking for points to be hyperbolic or to bring people to the masses, because everybody wants to hear about a fight before they want to hear about peace. It's just, unfortunately, the way of this iniquitous society. So we're going to go with this 30. And tonight, we're, like I said, the song referenced agents. This is what we have going throughout our social media, all throughout the internet, is a bunch of fake and planted agents that some truly believe in what they're saying. But there's others like Billy Carson that is truly just out here for the money. So in this chapter 30 of Proverbs, we're going to really take a deep dive into it. We're not going to look at it just on a surface level. First of all, who wrote Proverbs? Well, many times they attribute all of Proverbs to Solomon. It's not the case because back then, with Psalms and Proverbs, they actually tell you who wrote it in the beginning. So as we started, it says the words of Agur, son of Jakar, a man of Massa. That's a tribe. This is not Solomon speaking. So the gentleman from TikTok is using a chapter in Proverbs that was not written by Solomon. He's saying, it says, the son, a man of Massa, M-A-S-S-A, the speech of the man to Ithiel and Ukal. So this is not a divine scripture. Something like, I don't know, Paul. Let me stop. Look, so this, we must have reading comprehension when we attack. We cannot read these scriptures with the indoctrination that we receive. Read it fresh. I see Brother Jawan's in the building. So we're understanding this is a book of Proverbs that's inside of the scriptures of the Old Testament that was not written by Solomon nor David, that was written by the dude named Agur, son of Jakar, man of Massa. So from the tribe of Massa, and he's speaking to the Ithiel, to a man of Ithiel, to Ithiel and Ukal. So the man is of this town named Ithiel, and his name is Ithiel. All right. He says, I am brutish, less than a man. I lack common sense. This is where we're starting. For the verse that they want to prove that you can find Jesus in the Old Testament. This is going viral all on TikTok. My boy called me with it and said, man, what do you think of it? Like as if to say he thought that this was actually plausible. It says, I am brutish, less than a man. I lack common sense. I have learned wisdom. He's learned wisdom. Where would he get this wisdom from? Then it says, still in verse 3, nor do I possess knowledge of the Holy One. Whoa. So when we slow it down from all the matrix of you shut up, I can show it to you right there. And it says it's here. It says very clearly, nor do I possess knowledge of the Holy One. Who is the Holy One? The Most High. That is the Holy One. There is no other holy. He is the proprietor of righteousness, which is holiness, which is all things that are good. So he says, I have no knowledge of the Holy One, period. Verse 4, meaning that's the end of a sentence and also the end of a verse. So he's ending his thought. I don't know the Holy One. He said, I was a brutish. I knew nothing. He says, I have learned wisdom, but nor, he said, I have not learned wisdom, nor do I possess knowledge of the Holy One. So he says, I am brutish, less than a man. I lack common sense. I have not learned wisdom, nor do I possess knowledge of the Holy One. That's verse 3. Verse 4, who has ascended heaven and come down? Who has gathered up the wind in the hollow of his hand? So in verse 4, it's a question. I see my son Romeo Bippers in the building. So you may have seen this guy on TikTok. He's using Proverbs chapter 30, verse 3 and 4 to prove that the Son, which he has written in their book, is proof that there was a Jesus written in the Old Testament. So we're diving into it. And it says, verse 4, who has ascended heaven and come down? Question mark. Then it says, who has gathered up the wind in the hollow of his hand? Who has wrapped the waters in his garment? Who has established all the extremities of the earth? What is his name or his son's name, if you know it? So it did not say that the Son ascended and came back on the earth. It said, who has ascended heaven and come down? So it wasn't talking about the Son when it said that, but that's what they used to make him the Son, that he died, got the keys to hell, and rose to heaven to sit on the right hand. He was the one that supposedly did this whole ascending and descending, but that's not what they say here. But that's what they say real fast on TikTok. That's what they say real fast on Instagram. There's agents out here, guys. There's people that are liars that are out here. There's people that want things to be things, but it's just not what's written. If any of you, in your version, I've got the JPS, the Hebrew to English, to not, but in your KJV, that's better yet. Let's go ahead and pull this KJV up right here. Hold on. We're going to pull up 1611 at that. KJV 1611. Proverbs 30. See, we got Gateway, the first one to pop up. They paid the most money to be at the top of the list. And this is, let's go down to that verse 4. And it says, and I'm going to screen share it so the people on YouTube can see it. Yeah. Because I want, this is mine. I want y'all to see their KJV version. Because I don't want y'all to think I'm, sliding, moving nothing. I ain't moving the goalposts, right? So on theirs, KJV, it says, who had ascended up to heaven or descended, who had gathered the wind in his fist, who had bound the waters in a garment, who had established all the ends of the earth. What is his name? And what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? So none of these attributes that they have of Jesus is in this because, well, one, their Jesus would have been after Solomon, and this ain't Solomon speaking, but this was Solomon's time, but Jesus would have been afterwards. So they wouldn't have had no record of that. But still, in this whole thing, it's a question mark. All of verse 4 is a question, not an affirmation. See, they put it on TikTok and they put it on Instagram as an affirmation. Y'all understand trickery? Y'all understand why the indigenous here called the Europeans fork tongue? You get it? Because they give double meanings to things. They bring in philosophy when it's black and white. So, as it reads, it speaks of all things the Most High has done, from ascending to the heavens to coming down on the earth, walking with Adam, walking and speaking with all of the time that he's come to the earth to talk to, from Isaiah to Ezekiel. So this is all speaking of the Most High, even though this person that's saying it says, I don't know the Holy One. I'm learning the wisdom of it. I don't know him. So how are you going to use this as your affirmation that what you have written, but it gets better, guys. It gets better. So it says, what is his name or his son's name, if you know it? Well, if you go to the book of Enoch, chapter 70, it says, the angel tells Enoch, you are the Son of Man. You are the one that we are talking that is going to be the mediator. You're the one that is going to come out of any kind of skies. Enoch, you're Megatron. You are the man angel. You know what I'm saying? You was human has now ascended into the heavens. This is Enoch, chapter 70. Everything that they attribute as a title to Jesus. Like I said, it gets better. So verse 5, it says, every word of the Most High is pure, a shield to those who take refuge in him. So if there was a son, and if this was a proving that it was a sighting of their Jesus in the New Testament, then their New Testament says that you go through Jesus. Why would this same person, that if he was affirming that there was a son of him that came, that you should go through him and not the Most High? He says, no, every word of the Most High is pure. But in the Christianity, they tell you that he is the word. It says, every word of the Most High is pure, a shield to those who take refuge in him. And here it is. This is the problem with the New Testament. Verse 6, do not add to his words. See, when they use this Proverbs chapter 30, verse 3 and 4 to affirm that they could find Jesus written in the Old Testament, to only find that this thing says that you shouldn't even have a New Testament. There is no such thing as a new word of him. It said this word. It says, do not add. New means addition. I don't know if you know that. I don't know, like, we all, well, I'll just speak for myself. I had a hard time with word problems in math. You know what I'm saying? And to understand that sum is the same thing as subtract. I had a time with it. So maybe people get confused. You know what I'm saying? When it says here, every word. Maybe they get a little confused when it's saying very clearly that the shield of those who take refuge in him, do not add to his word. Maybe they misunderstand what the word add means. Maybe they think that Paul was not in addition. But it tells us in Micah that was it. That he wasn't going to have nothing else to say. He told Daniel to close up the book. So what is this new thing? An addition. And here it says, verse 6 of that same chapter 30, they're trying to make some type of situation for it. It says, do not add. Do not add to his word, lest he indict you and you be proved a liar. So the gentleman on TikTok, you are a liar. You are proved to be a liar. As I'm doing this on YouTube right now, and I put in a little thing of answer to TikTok, I hope that it becomes an answer to that guy, because they don't want to read the whole chapter. Like, it's amazing to me how they play y'all, how they try to play us. They're going to tell you, man, I can prove it right there because it says the word son. So the fact that we see that it says the Most High and a son, and that's supposed to end the whole conversation. That's where we're supposed to leave it at that and just go back to believing in your falsehood, your lies. No, we're going to read the whole thing and read before it. The same person that you're saying in chapter 4 that's asking a question that you're saying as an affirmation, in verse 3 says he has no knowledge, he has no wisdom, he doesn't know the Holy One. Then we go to verse 1 and it says it's not even Solomon. But they know, even though he's not Solomon, even though he's from the tribe of Massa, or Messiah, however you want to pronounce it. He knows that you don't add nothing to what was already written, to what's already been comprised. And it says, verse 7, 2 things I ask of you. Do not deny them to me before I die. This is again, Ivryt, the son of Jakar, says, keep lies and false words far from me. Wow. I mean, the irony that they would use this chapter of Proverbs to prove out their lie when it's speaking directly to getting far away from lies. It says, give me neither poverty nor riches, but provide me with my daily bread. Least being sated, I renounce saying. So it says, least meaning if I don't, at least let me be satisfied. You know what I'm saying? Provide me my daily bread. If not that, at least let me be satisfied. I renounce saying, who is the Most High? Or being impoverished, I take to theft. He says, and profane the name of the Most High. Well, these people that run this Catholicism, this Roman Empire, has stolen a lot. I mean, when it comes to the theft level of the Vatican, I mean, from literature to paintings, land, people, I mean, woo, the list. These are the same people that want you to believe that reading chapter 30 of Proverbs, verse 3 and 4, proves out their kingdom, proves out their existence, proves out their iniquity, their lie, their stumbling block. the hypocrisy, not even the hypocrisy, the outright, I don't give a F, bothers me. I don't know about anybody else, and I know it bothers the Most High. He's going to destroy it all because of such things. So I know he's perturbed behind it. I got a great conversation for you guys after this. We're only doing this chapter 30 because I want this to be understood. But afterwards, I'm going to give you the conversation I had with a gentleman today that is a programmer of AI. Stay tuned for that. So here in hour 30, as we're reading, we're in verse 9, and it says, or being impoverished and I take to theft, or profane the name of the Most High, do not inform on a slave to his master. So these boys even telling you not to snitch to the master. Y'all all impoverished. But yet we had it happen over and over again in every slave revolt. They only tell y'all about one or two here or there. You guys have no idea how many times our people. That's why they had to kind of let us go. That's why they had to kind of redo the system. It says, do not inform on a slave to his master, lest he curse you and you incur guilt. There is a breed of men that brings a curse on its fathers. Oof. And brings no blessings to its mother, to his mothers. A breed that thinks itself pure. I mean, this is a condemning chapter for Christianity. This is a condemning chapter for any religion, if you ask me. Farrakhan put out a book called The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews. In that book, he proclaims to prove that the blacks in America are the Jews of the book. Obviously, you may be confused and say, well, I thought Brother Farrakhan was with the Nation of Islam. Yes, he is. You're not confused. The book is read and it has a Star of David on it, which is a misnomer because us Hebrews never had a star. We never did an image. You know, we wasn't about that. Actually, the Most High kind of forbid that. It was Solomon that used that ring in folklore to control all the demons to build the temple. That became the pentagram and then turned upside down to be for satanic. But the star originated as the star Riphium from the tribe of Riphium. See, when we talk about the rabbit hole and the confusion, it goes deep. See, when I tell you that there's agents out in this world, I tell you that there's some people that really believe in the things that they're saying, but still of error, that you must study to show thyself approved. You must not be as those Christians that think thyself is pure and that you know everything because your heart bleeds for something. Your heart should only bleed for your Creator. You should only be seeking the thing that created all things as something to have reference to and bow down to and get wisdom from. I posted up a video of a Muskogee Indian. There's two different kinds. There's Muskegee and Muskogee. Muskogee is the original. Muskogee Indian that spoke of the religion of the Aboriginal people was nature. That when they wanted to figure out what they needed to do, if they were trying to get a message from the Creator, they went to its creation. Their religion was the following of nature, of being in one with nature. Yeah, I'm not going too far, am I? I mean, I hope y'all are still aligned with me. I'm expressing to you that there's a system, there's a government, there's a religion, there's something that is all against nature, the Most High, its creation. They want to rename it the Mother Earth, and they want you to believe that it's a God as well. They want you to believe in these other multiple angels that fell, when the scripture tells you clearly all of these so-called gods are fallen angels removed from their place in heaven to mate with women, your sisters and mothers and aunts and grandmothers. There is only the Most High. There is not any other creation, entity, God. There's nothing but your creator. It's creation, the earth, and you. Those two things can start civilizations after civilization, kingdoms after kingdoms. You have. And every time your kingdom's gotten to the height of its iniquity, from the Tower of Babel to Rome to Jerusalem to the Ottoman Empire to whatever the empire, once it got to its height of iniquity, of depravity, it was destroyed. When it got to the height of its evil, it's destroyed by the earth, 9 times out of 10, or them fighting amongst each other and killing each other over the very vanity thing that they seek. Mankind, nature, one that was created by the Most High. Don't add to his word. Don't bring no other gods in. Don't justify your enslavement and your indoctrination in your enslavement, and the fact that you prayed to something that was not the Most High and received something. Thank the Most High that he gave you grace and mercy. Thank the Most High that he saw through your captivity and knew you was calling on to him. Be thankful. But get it right. Because in this hour, they're going to try and twist you, David, any way they can. And it says, there is a breed of men that brings a curse upon its fathers and brings no blessings to its mothers, a breed that thinks itself pure, though it not washed of its filth, a breed so haughty of bearing, so superfluous, shallow. Right? It goes supercilious. I don't know how else to pronounce that word. S-U-P-E-R, which is super, and then it comes C-I-L-I-O-U-S, cilious, right? Supercilious, right? Verse 14, a breed whose teeth are swords. Quick to snap on somebody, quick to talk down somebody, quick to tear them down, read them, as they say, huh? A breed whose teeth are swords, whose jaws are knives, ready to devour the poor of the land, the needy among men. Oh, that's the church. The leech has 2 daughters. Give and give. These, you see, 3 things are insatiable. It says insatiable, but I'm going to say, unsatisfactory. 4 never say. Say 4 never say enough. Shaul, which is 1, is a barren womb. Never be. Earth that cannot get enough water will never say enough. A fire which never says enough. So a barren womb, hell, which is Shaul, a barren womb 2, earth that cannot get enough water, and fire. That's the 4 things that it said that are insatiable, that never get enough. Hell, the depths of hell, a barren womb, a woman that has not given birth, an earth that cannot get enough water, and fire, which never says enough. The eye that mocks a father and disdains the homage due to a mother, the raven of the brook will gouge it out. Young eagles will devour it. meaning that the world, the earth, things, if you do not honor, not obey, but honor thy mother and father, these are the things that are unto you. Verse 18, 3 things are beyond me, 4 I cannot fathom. How an eagle makes its way over the sky, how a snake makes its way over a rock, how a ship makes its way through the high seas, how a man has his way with a maiden. Such is the way of an adulteress. She eats. Well, it ended with of a maiden. So that's the 4 things that he can't understand how they happen to reproduce it, so to speak. So he says, such is the way of an adulteress. She eats, wipes her mouth. So I was talking about the men, now we're talking about the ladies. It says, adulteress, she eats, wipes her mouth, and says, I've done no wrong. We know a lot of our ladies. I mean, there's 1,000,001 TikToks on it. How it's hard for a woman to admit she's wrong. I'm not saying nothing. It's my wife's birthday. I'm having all good days. I'm not saying that's happening in my house. I'm just saying that in the book, and I've heard, it's hard to say that a woman will say that she's wrong. I'm just saying. Not my house, though. I mean, my wife is perfect. You know what I'm talking about? So, but these are, so he says, but most of women that cannot admit when they're wrong and say that they've done no wrong. And it says, verse 21, the earth shudders at 3 things, at 4 which cannot bear, a slave who becomes king. The earth shudders at 3 things, at 4 which it cannot bear. So the earth shudders when a slave becomes a king. A scoundrel sated with food doesn't like that. A loathsome woman who gets married. Now, this is shudders at 3 things. So a scoundrel sated with food. So even though it's shaken for and happy that a slave becomes a king and a loathsome woman gets married, but not for a scoundrel that is full of food, or a slave girl who supplants her mistress, right? So it says, 4 are among the tiniest on earth, yet they are the wisest of wise. Ants are a folk without power, yet they prepare food for themselves in summer. The badger is a folk without strength, yet it makes its home in the rock. A badger is a folk without strength, small animal, but yet it makes its home in the strengths of a rock. The locusts have no king, yet they all march forth in formation. That is exactly what our community needs to be doing in this hour. In this hour, we should be like the locusts. We don't have to have a meeting hall. We don't have to do those things. It is good for men to fellowship and to throw scriptures with each other, but we don't have to be like the Boy Scouts. We don't have to be like those type of organizations. We know what the rule book. We all got the rule book. We're supposed to be teaching our family that. We're supposed to be being an example of it. And when the Most High calls upon us, we all know what we're supposed to be doing because we've been studying to show ourselves approved. We're not listening to TikTok to teach us. We're not allowing people to come on just because they got 100,000 views and say some things out the side of their neck. And then believe that. And just run with that. Or even question yourself like my boy. They hit me with it. I'm like, nah, man. So, and it says, as we're getting rid of, coming to the end of this, it says, the locusts have no king, yet they all march forth in formation. You can catch the lizard in your hand, yet it is found in royal palaces. There are 3 that are stately of stride, 4 that carry themselves well. The lion is mightiest among the beasts and recoils before none. The greyhound, the he-goat, the king whom none dares resist. Those are the three things that are stately of stride. Verse 32. If you have been scandalously arrogant, if you have been scandalously arrogant, if you have been a schemer, again, these schemers that put this TikTok out obviously didn't read all of this because it speaks about them so much. And it says, if you've been scandalously arrogant, if you have been a schemer, then clap your hands to your mouth as milk under pressure produces butter. And a nose under pressure produces blood. So patience go to so that then this gentleman, Agur, speaking to Ithiel and Ukal, was not Solomon, was not Dawid, was not Jeremiah, Ezekiel, or Hosea, Malachi, Micah, Obadiah. Wasn't any of those. None of those said what this gave a question to. He was saying that he doesn't know the Most High that had ascended and descended into the heavens. Or a son, do you know his name? Because there was no name. If there was, it would have been Enoch. It goes on to speak about the scandalous arrogance of thinking that you're pure and thinking that your doctrine, even though it says in verse 6 of that very chapter 30, do not add anything to his word. We are to meditate on his word. We are to understand the many layers to his word, such as gopher wood. When you read about the Noah and everybody wanted to debate, was there really a flood like that? Was there really a Noah? But in this story, there's a detail in there that is minute, but if you meditate on it, study on his word, and want to prove his word, then you say, gopher wood. Why would he tell him to make the ark out of gopher wood? They got a good YouTube video out. I think it's the guys in Florida. I forgot the name of them, but it's on the ark. So they part of the video had this aspect in it of the gopher wood. And the gopher wood is only grown in Florida. But this gopher wood, not only is it only grown in one place in the entire world, it's the lightest wood in the entire world. Most flexible and durable wood in the world. Okay, you say, all right, if the Most High is going to flood the entire world, then it would be the perfect wood in order to keep this thing afloat. Being that you got all these heavy animals that you're putting on this boat. Then you say, okay, we meditate even deeper on just the ark. Then you find that this word gopher is originally a Hebrew word, but also originally an indigenous word to this land. So the Aboriginal, when the Europeans came, after they learned about their Jesus and came here and met these Aboriginal and told them about the book that they brought with them that had gopher wood written in that book, brought to them people and said gopher wood. And they said, yeah, we know what gopher wood is. We got that right here. So now you're telling me that gopher wood, the word gopher, is an indigenous word and it's a Hebrew word and there's no other origin. See, that's when you take time to not add to his word, when you take time to meditate on this word and not try and find something newfangled, and get to know the one that has given you life in all aspects of what he's given you to digest. I told you guys I was going to tell you the story of the gentleman that I had in my lift today. Beautiful family. And the gentleman, I'm not going to say his name and not going to give his nationality, but the gentleman is an AI, high up AI programmer. And he and I were going back and forth really hard on AI in a level. And he expressed to me that AI has 3 levels before it can get to the point that it can be what they call sentient. And that he's part of the group that's working on the 2nd level. And as I expressed to him, if you know that the 3rd level is horrible, why work on the 2nd level? Well, somebody is. He said, well, man, by the time our lifetime happens, the earth will probably be destroyed. Man will destroy itself before AI ever get to that position to take over. I want you to understand the mentality. I truly want you to understand the mentality of those that believe in their cause and will push aside all reason, all common sense to achieve their goal. The goal of America and the United States was the goal of the Roman Catholic Empire and its expansion. And their goal was to take the land and all the riches and have everyone subdued unto them. It's in their papal bull, 1455. I'm just paraphrasing what they wrote in history. So these people put aside even the Most High to run their doctrine. This gentleman, beautiful family, 2 daughters and a wife. They was a beautiful family. The young girls were intelligent, talking back and forth with them as he and I are going. We truly doing iron versus iron in there. And what I was expressing to him simply is that all that's happening in the world and all that's being worked on, no one's working on morals. No one has a plan to reinstitute morals. And what I explained to him is it doesn't matter. I don't have a fear of AI or AI becoming sentient. I have a bigger issue with the people that are programming the AI because they have no morals. So therefore, I know the AI cannot have morals. It cannot have character. Because then everyone would have to go back to the scripture. Go to the gopher wood. And understand that the law has been laid of what is righteousness and what is good. And if you can't even put it in the computers. And what I told him, I said, let me give you the shocking perspective of it all. I said, the fact of the matter is, if the computers took over, and their reason for taking over is because man, which we can clearly see in our own eyes and not being a computer, that man has lost its moral compass, that man has lost its mind with the war that it's doing. And if I was AI, the only solution would be to eliminate man. That's a very simple 1, 2. Okay? Man is the problem here. And AI would be very smart to figure out that the only problem that man has is man. And if you get rid of man, then the earth will strive and survive and will continue on. The only threat to the existence of life is man. Why? Because he has no morals and no foundation, no base in the Most High. He has base in himself and believe he's pure and believe that the word that he has been indoctrinated with is the truth. And that this world wouldn't be so nefarious, so evil to do something as outlandish as take Esau That's right. Esau's Jesus. And Esau was part of putting us in slavery. Esau started Rome when Esau was still recognized as black. Esau got taken over by the Greeks and the Romans, and then they took the image of Esau and made it white, and then came back and told you that that was your savior and not the Most High. They wouldn't do something so evil as that. They wouldn't do something so nefarious to make an entire people lose their truth, their name, their language, where they come from, and tell them that they're only slaves and that the only God that they can pray to is the God that they gave them. They would. Nah, that couldn't be. So when I see this TikTok and this guy say, I can prove that your slave master was in the Old Testament. I can prove to you that your stumbling block was in the Old Testament. Man, oh man. We don't know history. We don't know timelines. We just know praise and worship. We don't know history. We don't know timelines. We just know praise and worship. Praise and worship is in you, baby. You need to get a little bit of that history. You need to get a little bit of those timelines. You need to understand what your people have gone through. Stop playing around with praise and worship and get to the books. Start studying to show thyself approved. Start making yourself an open vessel. Meditate on the true word, the Old Testament, and let it lead you. The AI gentleman, when I told him that there was no morals and that the AI, if it's programmed with morals and it decides to kill us, it would be right. And would probably be a plan that the Most High would have put in place. That caught him because he don't want to hear nothing about the Most High. You know, they're computer guys. You know, don't believe in all that. Understand the people that are creating your AI does not believe in the creator. No, they don't. They can care less about your religious mumbo jumbo. They are absent of soul. Protect your soul when you are watching the soulless social media. Protect your spirit when you are watching the spiritless people spew their evil. All praise unto the Most High. I pray that you study to show thyself approved. I'll see you guys on Wednesday night. Me shalom. All praises.